Let me live that fantasy.
To the Griffin Grossmont College Radio, El Cajon, California.
Welcome to Breakfast of Imbeciles, the thinking man's analysis of Xbox murder, fainting beauty queens, Aztec calendars, and all of the other hard-hitting stories you just don't want to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, Breakfast of Imbeciles.
Good morning, everybody. I am DJ Lunchbox here on Griffin Radio. This is Breakfast of Imbeciles every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. It is our Halloween Eve morning special, so I just figured we needed a little bit of a new soundtrack to kick this off and really set the mood here today. We've got some kind of interesting and slightly grisly stories to cover. We've got a fascinating cooking lesson by Vincent Price that I'm really looking forward to featuring later. Don't forget you can check us out on Facebook at Griffin Radio 119. Our Instagram page is Griffin Radio SD, and of course you can always hear us on the Griffin Radio channel on the TuneIn app for your Android and iPhone. And of course you can listen to us at grossmont.edu/Griffin Radio. Don't forget to send me an email at lunchboxthedj@gmail.com because all questions, comments, or concerns are welcome, surprisingly. And any news stories you might have you'd like to forward to me and hear talked about on the air, I would be more than happy to take a look at for you. We are a full-service, interactive experience here, so hit me up. I thought we would just go over our little announcements here as usual. Oh my freaking God. You are... Ladies and gentlemen, we have a sighting, early sighting for once, and don't think I am not thrilled. I'm waiting for you to put your headphones on so I can play the sound effect. Okay, go. DJ B-Milly, ladies and gentlemen, has decided to join us this morning on this our Halloween Eve morning special.
Hooray!
How you doing? Feeling better?
Yeah. Yes, much better.
Oh,
much
good.
Better. Thank you for asking. Hello.
Oh, we actually just started a second ago. It's just going to do some announcements here and then proceed.
Hooray!
I was just saying we actually have a couple of things. We've got some interesting, not Halloween related, but still kind of grisly stories we'll cover. They're both grisly and funny because why the hell not?
Because it's Breakfast of Imbeciles.
Because it's Breakfast of Imbeciles. And we have a Vincent Price cooking lesson we're going to hear later on today.
Ooh, yay!
So I can't wait to feature that. Let's see. By the way, before I get into this, and Thunderstruck.
Gosh.
Sneaking your butt in here over the wire. Well, he texted me, let me know he was going to be late today, so I wasn't expecting him to get here till about 9:30. I guess I do have to turn you on now that you're actually here.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back.
Oh, it's good to have my boys here.
I was taking the world's longest bathroom break.
Dream team. You all right?
Yeah.
That stone finally come out?
Yeah, finally passed. Took a lot of pushing, but...
Looked like a half-eaten jawbreaker.
Feels good. Okay.
Oh, good morning to me.
Are you awake now?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Before I go into the announcements, B-Milly, how did the Flight or Fright go? Did you get a chance to attend?
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. I mean, Brian Rickle is just... The guy is incredible.
I kept threatening to go, and then as soon as I would take my headphones off, out my brain. Totally gone.
Fluttered away.
I completely forgot.
Yeah.
So you guys did a lot of people show up?
Yeah, a good amount of people did, but I mean, also just because he offered extra credit for his classes to go, but you know,
that always helps.
Bribery,
regardless, it was a very fun night.
Okay, well, I'll take that. I'll accept that. Your answer accepted.
For now.
For now. You may live for today. The Grossmont Theater Arts Department, with generous support from the Rice Family Foundation, is going to present Galoshes of Fortune by Elizabeth Wong and directed by Brian Rickle.
Woohoo!
Come see the show on November 2nd and 3rd, that is Friday and Saturday, at 7:30 p.m. You can pick up your tickets by calling 619-644-7234 or visiting grossmont.edu/theater brochure. And as always, theater is R-E. Theatre brochure, the classic spelling. It's a good show. Come see it. It's only 2 nights. Don't be the weird one in your group who has to fake laugh and pretend you know what your friends are talking about, or
Yeah.
they're talking about a great show and there was the denouement and
Yeah.
the theme and the leitmotif, and you're like,
yeah, it's great.
Remember when that guy bent over? That was funny.
It's a short show, so you guys should. It'll take less than an afternoon for you.
I was going to say, how long is it?
From my understanding, it's only like a 45-minute, hour-long show.
Oh, you got time for that. Come see that.
Yeah.
So Galoshes of Fortune, November 2nd and 3rd. That is this weekend at 7:30. Come see it. It sounds awesome. Basket Brigade of San Diego has their event coming up on November 17th, which when I first put this announcement in the book sounded so long, sounded so far in the future, and it is not now.
What is?
It's coming up.
What is
that is-
Basket Brigade?
I'm so happy that you asked. Basket Brigade is helping host a community food drive. Get your family, friends, and coworkers together so they can feed 200 Grossmont College families on the event day, which again is November 17th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Bring your donations to the ASGC office. This program is in partnership with the San Diego Basket Brigade, Grossmont CalWorks, Student Affairs, and Gizmo's Kitchen. They have a full list here. I suggest you go to the website and check it out, but just a brief rundown. They're looking for frozen turkeys or $20 gift cards, turkey roasting pans, box stuffing, box mashed potatoes, gravy or packet and jars, canned corn, canned green beans, canned sweet potato, all the staples.
Thanksgiving stuff.
No
Thanksgiving
pork
stuff.
products.
Yeah, inexplicably it says no pork products in a different
Throw
color
that in
font.
there.
I don't know what that's
Yes.
all about, but no pork products.
Deal with it.
No pork.
I mean, is there? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, is there even any pork products for Thanksgiving? But I was thinking ham, and of course,
Yeah, that's very true.
I'd say ham.
Not a fan of ham.
So that is a good one there.
I hate to be the like.
Do
no
you?
offense to any middle-aged women that are listening, but I hate to be the middle-aged woman and say like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's so crazy that it's already November 3rd."
Oh, I'm
But,
right there with you.
100% crazy that it is already the end of October.
I'm
going
totally
into
with you.
November.
I went and bought candy for the trick or treaters tomorrow on the way to school this
That
morning.
is crazy.
Expect me to stop by.
I did not even.
There's candy in the break room if
Like,
you guys want.
I'll be the 5'9" husky man in a bed sheet pretending to be a ghost, stealing all your candy.
Are you going to do that that sort of avocado thing where you just cut out the cardboard, paint it green, let your gut stick through?
That's
like
a good
the seed?
idea. That's a good.
You haven't
I've
seen
been
that?
working on it. I've been working on mine. So,
All year long, I've been building this costume.
ladies,
Oh,
please
boy.
spread me on some toast. I'm ready to go. Okay.
The views, comments, and opinions expressed on the show
okay.
are those of
Thanks.
I haven't done this yet.
Okay.
The views, comments, and opinions expressed on the show are those of the individuals and not necessarily shared by Griffin Radio, the Media Communications Department, Grossmont College, or the Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District. This podcast is copywritten by Griffin Radio and Grossmont College 2018.
Well
That
timed.
seemed like a perfect moment to really let that sink in.
Oh, that's awesome.
No better moment for that.
All right.
So I had a little public service announcement that I wanted to talk about this morning
Yes,
to my fellow
yes,
Grossmont
yes.
students, and really just to extend to other people in similar situations.
Hooray.
If you are the kind of person that parks your car backwards so your headlights are facing out, that's fine. It's no skin off my butt.
Okay.
You do what you're going to do.
Okay.
But if you park that way and you are in a busy parking spot,
Oh my gosh,
such
and you
as
take a
the
year
parking
and a half
structure
to-
here, and there's the long line to get out and cars aren't moving anywhere, don't sit there mad dogging me because you can't leave because I don't know you're trying to get out because you parked your car the wrong way and I can't see your backup lights. Well, you don't have backup lights because you're trying to pull out. So
And there's like a big pole. There's like a big line behind you because you have to do like an 80-point turn to get
Right.
it.
Ooh.
And well, have you noticed what people
hate
started
that.
doing? So they're trying to get out, and they're in the wrong way. So they're driving forward out of the parking space. So they get mad because people can't see they're trying to leave because they're parking the wrong way, and they actually end up blocking traffic because then they pull out halfway and then block the other lane. So stop doing that.
That really
And if
irritates
you-
me. That really irritates me.
Yeah,
Do you know what irritates me about parking? It's kind of a similar thing, but I hate people that search for parking spots. Like, just find a spot and park in it. You don't have to be there for a year and a half
well, that's
to
true.
get a spot that's 3 spaces closer.
You know what? That is true. That irritates me so
Isn't it?
much.
Like, and that's what causes like
Oh,
that lot
God.
to have like 40 people driving around.
I'm like walking through that thing. You see cars zooming by you.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
spots all the way back there, guys.
But I completely agree. Like, your headlights do not indicate to me whether you're trying to pull out or pull in.
Exactly. So don't sit there and glare at me because I'm the bad person because you don't know how to park properly. Anyway,
I'm not sure why they're doing that.
So that actually got me a lot more emotional than I was actually intending to be.
That's okay. Sometimes you gotta let it out, man.
Yeah. So anyway, I was also talking to my sister this weekend. We chit-chat periodically, and my niece is about 6 months old now, and so she's starting to teethe, and she's starting to kind of roll around, and, my sister is starting to freak out because she doesn't want her to roll her head into their, glass china hutch or whatever.
Just throw a helmet on her.
Well, I told my sister, I said, okay, well, here's an idea on how to keep your baby from rolling around. My sister's like, oh, this is going to be funny. You're going to tell me to put a shock collar on her. I was like, no, that's inhumane. What you do for a baby who's moving around too much on the floor, you take a handful of paper clips, you bend them in half, and then you just sprinkle them in a loose circle around the baby like little caltrops. So when she rolls one way, she goes to the left, ow, okay, I can't go that way. She goes the other way, ow, I can't go that way. And eventually the baby learns sit perfectly still. You sit still, you don't get the little pinchies. You don't get the ow.
The shock collar's
torture.
It's
a torture.
It's not torture.
You're putting her in a baby prison.
It's aversion therapy.
It's a baby prison.
Yeah,
it's called training.
Or it's aversion training, like with dogs.
What is it, Shawshank Redemption?
Well, when they're at that
Poor
age,
baby.
the intelligence level,
Throw some leg
Just
weights
put like
on.
a little path
Throw
there.
some leg
and
weights
when-
on there. There you go.
When she rolls through the path, that's right. You throw like a thing of Cheerios at her, just like.
Yeah, exactly. You want her to go one way, you put down the Cheerios. You don't want her to go another way, you put down some little paper clips bent in half. And make little caltrops at home.
Thank God none of us have children.
My mom
know.
says that a lot. She's got the grandchild she wants, and it came from the correct child, not me.
Oh, ouch.
No, I embrace that. I'm saying that because my man at home is like, you know what?
Not about it.
We're
fine the way we are right now.
Yeah, because if we had a child, she would grow up like Wednesday Addams around me. So,
Oh God. Oh my goodness.
as the two of you may be acutely aware, I hosted the show solo last weekend, or last Thursday.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yep.
Ooh.
This is the basilisk stare that I'm directing. You had an excuse, B-Milly. You were sick, but Thunderstruck just couldn't be bothered to drag his butt.
I was also absent for our DJ Keen's specialty show, which I greatly apologize for as well. But
Well, when you're sick, you got an excuse. Your text sounded very ill. I could feel it.
thank you.
But I learned a lot about myself that Thursday.
Please enlighten us.
It was a long hour. It was a long hour of me just talking about a story. This is a funny thing. Well, I guess that's all I have to say about that. I did that like 14 times.
It's not easy, is it? Yeah.
It's not easy to sit there and monologue. I realized I have a very limited rhetorical skill in that I can't take one particular point and rephrase it 15 times to fill an hour like a lot of other talk show hosts
I
do.
could do that. Like,
I've never tried, really. I try to get to the point of everything as quickly as possible, and so I will end up sort of talking myself into a corner where I've made my point in 10 words or less, and then I'm just repeating myself.
I just like to talk. Like, as long as I can hear the beautiful sound of my own voice, I'll just do it for hours.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's something I need to
hours.
learn. That's something I need to personally learn to do, because when it was like a sucking vacuum in here, because I'm sitting here talking to myself and there's nobody to even like just even nod to me. I'm just kind of like staring at the ceiling.
Well, one of our teachers on campus, Professor Weirig, shouts out to Weird Dog.
Weird Dog.
We call him Weird Dog. No, but he had this brilliant project for us in our broadcasting class where it was to just sit in your room and talk for 45 minutes about something in front of you.
Oh, well,
like you just had to sit there. There
we
couldn't
did
be
that
any other noise.
for the media announcing class. We
Yeah.
did that, and it was half an hour for us. Jesse and I were in that class together with LaTanya and Remus.
Yeah.
What did you do yours on?
I did commentary on the Human Centipede.
Oh, God.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
I watched the Human Centipede
is-
and I described what I was watching.
That is the most Jesse thing I've
Yeah, that
ever
really
heard.
is.
It was very interesting.
I did a blow-by-blow of a cooking competition show.
Oh, cool. I described my record collection.
Oh,
I've got
okay.
a collection of records, so I described like the covers and like all the songs on them and stuff.
Now, that would be difficult to me because my first instinct would be to grab the record cover, flip it over, and start reading the track list, which you can't do. You can't read in that exercise. Everything you say has to be off the cuff.
Yeah. Well, I didn't read the songs. I looked at a song and then it like reminded me of a memory. I think I got through like, of my 50 albums, I think I got through like 3. because I just kept talking and talking.
Well, that's good. That was the point of the exercise.
Yeah.
So so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed.
I think
exercise.
I think it was great. I think your solo show was really good, though. Honestly, like,
you heard it?
kidding. Yes,
because I only sent you that one clip because I wanted you to hear the Cartman track because I knew that would make you probably start laughing and coughing at the same time.
Oh man, I was dying in every sense of the word. Mom comes in. What is so funny?
What's happening right now?
I'm Sadie.
Oh god.
It's just the best. It's the funniest.
I enjoyed that, and honestly, my favorite part of the show is like you doing that, and then on an earlier episode when I played a track for Sam, and he kind of fell out of his chair. Those are the moments I live for.
It's so funny. It's so perfectly placed and timed. It's perfect.
Well, we are going to take, with that slobbering adulation, we're going to take a little break here on Breakfast of Imbeciles. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook at Griffin Radio 119 and Instagram Griffin Radio SD. I'm DJ Lunchbox here with
DJ Thunderstruck.
DJ B-Milly.
We will be back in just a minute, guys. Welcome back to Breakfast of Imbeciles here on Griffin Radio every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. I am your host, DJ Lunchbox, here with
The depressed DJ Thunderstruck.
And DJ B-Milly. That is me.
That is him.
That was very tautological.
I like this music. It's
that.
very spooky.
Well, what you guys don't hear on these very short music breaks is when we come back, like, you hear Jesse's, like, calm, soothing ASMR voice. Like, before it, he just screams to hype himself up, so it's literally just like, woo!
He just walks around the room
like,
beating his head on the padded wall.
I promise I didn't do any rails of white suspicious substances.
That he did not. Yeah. I can attest to that as well.
I don't know. We've done enough stories about cocaine being smuggled to really inspire somebody.
Somebody.
So what I wanted to do, I think we're going to do the Vincent Price cooking lesson now because I want to make sure we can do it before B-Milly has to leave us.
Hooray.
So we're going to do this Vincent Price album, and then it's only about a minute and a half or so, and then we're just going to go straight into the news after that.
Perfect.
So I have no idea who put this together, but Vincent Price actually put out a series of cooking lessons on vinyl.
Oh, wow.
Back in like the 60s or 70s, I want to say, and I was trying to find it on Amazon, but I like if there was a digital copy, but it looks like there's only a few, and it's all actually the vinyl. I don't have a record player.
That's amazing.
But I found this, I heard this track, I should say, on a different radio show years ago, and I just had to find it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vincent Price.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vincent Price.
Oh, wow.
If I am feeling particularly ambitious, I make a real curry, plus all the side dishes. Many curries are made with meats on the bone, but for my guests, I only want to serve small boys.
Oh, okay.
Let's look around for some really exotic and very hot ones.
Okay.
What is...
That's the way my wife likes them. I then skin the boys and take all of the meat from the bone. The easy way is to stab them one at a time with a fork and heat them over a gas flame on the stove until the skin bursts. It then peels right off. What fun.
Oh, my God.
To make the
am I
curry
listening
itself
to?
is child's
What
play.
in the world
A very
is this?
simple, but a very elegant dish. Nothing makes a more exotic party. I generally lower all the lights and burn a little child to help create a mood. And then I have sitar records and put them on the stereo, and that helps tremendously. Candles winking everywhere are very romantic. The visual display of the curry, all the condiments, and the boys is really spectacular. This meal depends on you to create a mood, so be daring. Use a different tablecloth or a brilliant remnant of material. Pull out all the brass and copper you can find. Wear dangling earrings and a draped sari if you have it, and every bracelet you can find. Your guests will talk about this dinner party for weeks.
Okay. That's
What?
a lot to process.
Did we just listen to?
I have been dying to play that since September. That's not a real...
Of course.
Okay, somebody
Yeah,
actually cut his voice up, but I found that absolutely hysterical.
That is unbelievable.
The first time I listened to it, it kind of went by me. I was listening to it, and he said, "I'd like to, cook small boys," and I was thinking, like, is that some kind of goat?
Yeah, maybe is it some word for?
Yeah, like a kid, a goat. It passed me right by because it was so well done, and then I finally had to listen to it a second time. I get that now.
So that's not real then, right? Somebody spliced that together?
Yes,
wow,
exactly.
that's impressive.
I thought that was really good.
That was very horrifying. I really felt like this guy spent his time just talking about how to cook a boy.
Do you know who Vincent Price is?
His voice sounds familiar now, but I'm not exactly sure.
He was an actor.
He was like the master of horror in the 60s, 70s.
His voice reminds me of the guy that speaks in the beginning of Thriller. Is that the same?
Yes, that's him.
Oh, there you go. See, that's why he sounds familiar.
Have you ever seen, I think it came out in I want to say 2003 or so, they did the remake, The House on Haunted Hill.
Right.
Jeffrey Rush was in it.
Mm-hmm.
His character was a spin on Vincent Price. And I think Vincent Price was actually in the original.
Yeah. So he was in the original.
What a horrifying voice that man has.
Oh, Vincent Price was fantastic.
Horrifying.
He was amazing.
That's the best part.
Just imagine using that voice while making love. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear God.
That'd be one heck of a voice.
Thunderstruck.
You know what I need to do is actually pull that X sound that they have from the Family Feud.
Oh, you see, just imagine it now. Vincent Price narrating sensual novels.
Jesse.
Right? Ooh.
I already have enough nightmares after playing Leonard Nimoy's I Love Making Love to You.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody needs to splice that together.
That was something you've been telling us about since the first semester you got here.
Yeah, Jesse was here for that specialty show where I
survived. Yeah.
So after that, I think we're going to go straight into the news here.
Woohoo.
Let's see. Actually, this story was credited to my own darn sainted mother.
Oh.
Who emailed this to me and said, "Oh, honey, you got to read this. It's too weird." An Oklahoma City woman told police that her 20-year-old boyfriend met another woman on social networking sites and planned to steal her Xbox, but ended up killing her instead.
Oh,
what?
That's sad. Come on. You just had to. That was rude.
Come on, that was good. You like that.
That was a really good noise.
I'm sorry.
But wait.
I'm sorry, Bill Gates.
So wait, let me track this story. So, girl says boyfriend met another girl on like a social dating app.
Yep.
Then that girl kills the girl?
No, the guy met this other woman on social networking, and he planned to steal her Xbox, but ended up killing her instead.
The guy was planning on stealing her Xbox, but ending up killing the girl instead.
Yep. On June 25th, the girlfriend, whose name was not released, contacted police and said she was dating Keandre Moore, who had told her several days earlier he killed Monica Irvin Adams. On May 1st, Oklahoma City police responded to a home in the 200 block of Northwest 87 where they found Irvin Adams, 45, with multiple lacerations according to the court affidavit. Her son, who found her body, told investigators that his mother's Xbox, cell phone, and car were missing. Moore reportedly told his girlfriend that Irvin Adams had been sleeping but kept waking before he could leave. He went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, went to the bedroom, and stabbed her several times, even as she told him he could take anything she had, the girlfriend told the police. So,
wow.
That's just, I find that very strange.
That is odd.
Yeah. So in addition to stealing her Xbox and cell phone, he told his girlfriend that he took the knife and a bloody sheet. He abandoned her car around the corner from his own girlfriend's house, having thrown her cell phone out along the highway. So, yeah, this dude was just, I don't know if his girlfriend was just kind of very understanding. They had some kind of open thing going on, or he was just like, look, I was over at this girl's house, and that was the least of the problems that have emerged from this situation.
Wow.
Because I was going to take her Xbox, but, I killed her.
I was already there, so I figured I might as well.
Yeah, you're already there. You don't want to make two trips.
Talk about achievement unlocked. Am I right? Am
I
right?
God.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I may have to retire that because I'm beginning to think that the rim shot is simply encouraging you.
Yeah.
I mean, but okay. So what we have here is this woman pretty much snitched on her boyfriend, right? For killing this woman. The girlfriend told on the boyfriend, right?
Why do I feel like you're about to defend the guy because he confessed to his girlfriend, and you're going to say, snitches get stitches?
Where is the loyalty? I mean, where does it stop and start? I mean, come on.
For it.
Oh.
Well, there's our defense lawyer coming to the rescue.
Poor guy. I mean, you think you can trust somebody, at least one
Attorney
person in the
General
world.
Jesse.
You think there's
coming
one
in to defend everyone.
You think there's one person you can trust in this world, and then they end up turning on you.
How much trust could there be if he was already sleeping around?
I mean, who knows? Maybe he was in consolation.
Maybe what?
Consolation, and he was just trying to steal this woman's Xbox for his girlfriend. I mean, Christmas is coming up, so maybe he was just trying to think about her.
Your ad absurdum arguments just get weirder every week. I mean, I'm just trying
to play devil's advocate.
I admire your ability to come up with this garbage.
I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here, guys.
I will have the audience know that DJ Lunchbox messaged me about a week and a half ago and said, "Hey, I downloaded a Law and Order gavel sound effect for when Jesse makes ridiculous defenses."
Well, that was your suggestion, though.
It was my suggestion, and I'm so happy that he did it.
It's too bad that I can't get a button over to you where you can just slam it.
Every week, without fail, every story we have, he will find a way to defend anybody that does anything.
Just saying, fellas, look out for this one. If you plan on dating her, she will snitch on you.
God. It's just it's like, why?
Well, I mean, okay, I'll admit this guy got what he deserved. All right,
I like how he says that at the end after we endlessly berate him.
You do the crime, you're gonna do the time.
All right, I'll admit he got what he does. Of course he murdered somebody.
All right, French urban climber Elaine Robert has been banned from climbing any buildings in Britain after scaling one of London's tallest skyscrapers without ropes and permission.
L'araignée est un être bien singulier. Dans sa toile, il attend d'attraper les brigands en garde.
Robert climbed the 662-foot Heron Tower on Thursday as police cordoned off the building, closed roads, and ushered spectators away. He was arrested after the climb and appeared in a London court on Friday. Roberts pleaded guilty to causing a public nuisance and received a 20-week suspended sentence and a $7,000 fine. He was also banned from climbing all Britons in building, quote, until further notice. Because, they'll let him know later that, okay, here, you can climb buildings now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The 56-year-old daredevil known as the French Spiderman has climbed many of the world's tallest structures. Before Thursday's climb, he told reporters, "I feel fully alive when my life is at stake."
Thank you for making that
and then drop the cigarette
as possible.
How's that racist?
Ooh la la!
He's French.
I spit on your name.
Oui.
No. It's only it's not really racist, but it's only like a stereotype when I talk about how he then ground out the Galois cigarette under his heel. Before.
That's true. Until then, it's just an accent.
Before slugging down the dregs of his Beaujolais.
Until then, it's just a accent edition.
Yeah.
But I completely agree with you, Lunchbox. What kind of punishment is banned from climbing buildings? Oh man, you ruined my Saturday.
I just find it curious that the stipulation was until further notice. It's like, was there a tribunal that's going to sit there and review it?
Yeah, all right.
But which building did he climb?
The Heron Tower. I don't know what it looks like, but it's tall.
I was just saying, I imagine the committee. I imagine it's a committee of 30 people that ask, what building did he climb?
Well, they're all old and they're all short. I'm just saying, because those are the people that I just see this sea of gray hair and black pantsuits with the little white kind of ascot frilly for the ladies. The gentlemen all have those perpetual disapproving scowls with those jowls on the side of their mouth. Speaking in a British accent, of course.
Nothing makes me happy anymore.
Oh God! Welcome to my life. Just saying though, Matt, think of the baguette on this guy to be able to climb a tall building like that without any equipment. That's the danger.
Oh man,
I really have to have a button ready.
I
commend that man.
Police say the only clean part of an intended drug deal at a North Carolina airport was the fact that the drugs in question were actually bars of soap. The News and Observer reports the Raleigh-Durham International Airport officers arrested 43-year-old Tavares Hargrave, 40-year-old Jason Anderson, and 44-year-old Luz Ortega on a drug trafficking charge on October 5th. But when the results of a lab test came back, police filed different felony charges on Tuesday. Police initially believed that the three had sold 3 pounds of cocaine to Hargrave. Instead, according to an arrest warrant for Hargrave received 10 bars of ivory soap wrapped in thick plastic wrap. But it's a crime to take part in what someone believes is a drug deal. It's unclear whether the men knew that the packages were actually soap and not drugs.
Oh, that's just ridiculous to CYA for officers, or I feel like the law. Like, you're going to tell me that it's illegal to unknowingly and unwillingly take part in what looks like a drug deal? That's just for them to be like, okay, we can't look stupid. We gotta make it a law to where, like, even if we mess up and they're selling soap bars, that's still illegal.
Well, no, it's the intention, because they thought they were actually trafficking in drugs. So
okay.
Yeah, it's not
I misunderstood
that
the
they were
story.
Sorry. Yeah, no. They thought they were moving drugs around, which is the crime itself, because
Okay.
And I mean, I could see the intent. It's kind of like, if you intend to murder somebody, then they nail you for that too. So so these goons were kind of like, I thought that was cocaine.
See that. I thought that they knew they were selling soap, but like officers just arrested them and said, no, that's cocaine.
No,
like,
no. There would be
selling.
no crime for that.
I was gonna say, like, you can't do that.
I think that's it's not entrapment. It's just like a false accusation. It's like, I'm selling soap. You're selling coke. It's like, no, I'm not. That's not a crime.
Not at all.
So yeah.
Okay. That does also make it much more entertainingly funny.
In South Carolina, police say a naked woman tried to bite off a man's genitals.
I mean, this has got to happen like every other week, right? Something to do with somebody's genitals on Breakfast of Imbeciles?
No, I think mostly what we deal with is drugs and crap.
That's true. That is true.
That may have to be the tagline for the show.
I don't know. I would say that every other day there's like somebody being done with a drug deal story, but like every other week there's
always somebody naked.
There are a lot of naked people. That's
true.
A
lot of naked
That's
people.
more what I was going towards.
WCS-TV reports that a man called police for help, saying the woman tried to bite off his junk during sex with him and another man Monday night.
Oh,
Hannanan Police Chief Dennis Turner says officers shocked the bloody woman with a stun gun after she rushed on all fours at responding officers, then used an overdose-fighting drug to revive her. Officers were told she was high on heroin and meth.
That is horrifying.
Turner says that the body camera recording reminded me of something you would see off of a horror movie. And gentlemen,
Grudge.
She's now single. She's single, and she's freaky, so get on that, I guess.
You never know. Call me in 6 months if I'm on a dry spell.
Jesse.
B-Milly's eyes are just like teacups right now.
I mean, it's just...
Oh, God. The part about her crawling on all fours, was it? That's just a horrifying image.
I see her like, but the best part is
like The Grudge.
Oh, God.
Exactly. I was trying to imagine if like she was actually on her hands and knees, or if she was on like her hands and feet backwards, sort of like crab walking.
That's where I would question my career as a police officer.
Trying to go up the wall and.
Oh no.
That's where I would question my career as a police officer.
I've seen some things in my days, but I think it's time to hang it up.
Just set your gun and badge on the floor and say, "Nope, done."
Or like, no,
earthquake.
You're okay.
There's an earthquake.
No, but like I imagine like the day after that you get like a new rookie or trainee, and they're like, "How crazy does it get out here?" And you just like blank face stare. You have no idea.
So what happened to your last partner?
Well,
poor guy had his genitals ripped off.
He had a really bad hammer toe. He had to go.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Poor guy had his genitals ripped off by the lady from The Grudge.
You don't want to know, kid.
Oh, bitten off. Yeah.
Oh. Well, now I want to go home and just watch The Grudge and The Exorcist.
No.
Oh, God.
A Paraguayan beauty pageant winner swooned on stage after declaring the anticipation just before the announcement was unbearable. Miss Grand International 2018 Clara Sosa fell as soon as she was announced this year's winner. Ooh. At the time, she was holding hands with first runner-up Meenakshi Chaudhary of India. I totally practiced that name. Who tried to help but failed to catch Sosa. She collapsed and hit the floor. Yeah, tried to catch her in my butt. Sosa soon recovered and waved, cried, and smiled to cameras before she was immediately surrounded by fellow contestants who congratulated her. In an interview before the winner was announced, Sosa said breathlessly she might need a doctor because she felt like she would have a heart attack.
Wow.
That's
I just found it funny. There wasn't anything particularly great about that, but I just like the fact that she was so excited, and then she just swooned on stage and fell over.
I wish I was excited about something like that.
What is that for? Like Miss Universe or whatever it is?
Miss Grand International. This was actually in Myanmar.
What is it, like a
Miss
knockoff?
Grand International? Yeah, is that like Kirkland Miss Universe? Is that like off-brand?
Yeah, this is Miss like Universe the Sanger, California version.
I see. I see.
Yeah, but
wow.
I mean, congratulations,
Yeah.
Clara Sosa.
Just imagine if she won Miss Universe. Her heart would jump out of her chest.
I mean, she probably... I wonder if they have, like, a committee for that. Or not a committee for that. I'm sorry. But, like, I wonder if people look out for that. And they say, oh, my God, she almost died when she won, like, Miss California. We probably shouldn't, like, for health purposes, make her win Miss Universe.
I disagree. That's good TV right there. That would up the ante.
Well, this is in Myanmar, so they have, like, as far as I'm aware, no laws in that country because the government running the country is basically just running roughshod. That's the country where they're murdering all of the Muslim refugees because they don't like them. So Myanmar is just kind of this jungle wasteland of lawlessness at the moment. But so what the point of that was, I was going to say there's like no ADA laws there, so they can do whatever they want. And if she has a heart attack, she has a heart attack. They'll just put the crown on a little coffin,
just drag her off stage.
That's
by the feet.
Just grab her by the ankle and haul her off.
Oh God!
It's like a barbershop quartet too. They like distract the audience.
Oh yeah, they just have the Rockettes come out and start doing a kick line to distract everybody.
Oh boy, the Rockettes!
Or the Burmese Rockettes. So
could you imagine how easily distractible a people would have to be? Oh my God, somebody passed out. Is that the Rockettes?
I am cynical enough to believe that would actually work. I believe that would completely distract people. This story was just wild. This one was so weird. Two middle-aged schoolgirls in Central Florida brought knives to school in a foiled plot to kill classmates, cut them up, and drink their blood before killing themselves, police officials said on Wednesday. The two girls, ages 11 and 12, were armed
11 and 12-year-old girls
were armed with knives Tuesday at Bartow Middle School before they were caught, according to the arrest affidavits released by the Bartow Police Department. No one was hurt.
That's unbelievable.
11 and 12?
Jeez.
Trying to drink all these classmates' blood? How young were they trying to get?
God.
Time out. They said nobody was hurt?
Nobody was hurt.
In the story, didn't you say they killed themselves?
No, that was their plan.
Oh, their plan was to do that.
No, they were planning.
Freaking children of the corn over here.
They had a plot to do all this, but it didn't happen. The girls faced charges to commit conspiracy, first-degree murder, and possession of a weapon at a school, amongst other charges.
What?
The girls plan to stake out a school bathroom and wait for smaller students to enter, according to the police affidavit. Wow. They plan to cut the victims' throats, cut up their bodies, eat the flesh, and drink the victims' blood. Then they plan to fatally stab themselves. These are 11 and 12-year-olds. That's like 5th and 6th grade.
That is horrifying. They need to be locked up forever.
They're probably going to be. But here's my favorite part of this story.
That is, wow.
According to the affidavit, the plan was to kill at least one student, but they were hoping to kill anywhere from 15 to 25 students. Killing all of these students was in hopes that it would make them worse sinners, ensuring after they committed suicide, they would go to hell so they could be with Satan. 15 to 25 students?
Okay.
How in the world were they planning to hide in the bathroom with all that blood, and where were they going to put the first 24 bodies?
They didn't really think this thing through. I don't think 11 and 12-year-olds have the capacity to think murder through.
They didn't think this thing through.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
We got a nice padded cell for you ladies.
Detectives say the girls devised the plot while watching scary movies at one of their houses over the weekend. That's it for you, young lady. No more Twilight.
Wow.
The alleged plot was foiled when administrators searched for them after they didn't show up for class. The administrators found them in a bathroom stall and brought them back to the offices, where they found in the girls' possession 4 knives, a pizza cutter, and a knife sharpener. So they planned ahead.
A pizza cutter. That's smart. Yeah. Why go through all that, difficult cutting when you can just get the little...
Oh my God.
They got the knives.
So
they got the knives for the cutting, the sharpeners when the knives get dull from all the cutting, and then the pizza cutter presumably to take the heads off.
Or maybe they just wanted to have a nice slice of pizza afterwards. All that cutting up, it works up an appetite.
Oh no, they were going to be full. They were
going
to
eat the flesh of the people.
They were not going to be in a mood for a nosh or anything.
But let me just say this. Let's not be quick to judge. No, I'm saying no. This is not. Let's not be quick to blame scary movies for this.
Let's not
be quick. Whatever is wrong, whatever inspired these girls, there must be something severely wrong with their...
I will take a strong agree to that.
They must be mentally ill for them to think this thing.
There is no way a rational, I'm using normal in quotes because normal is a continuum.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is no way that a rational, normal person leaps from watching a scary movie to saying, let's go kill an entire class worth of other students, drink their blood, and kill ourselves so that we can be the handmaidens of Satan.
I think
there is no way.
I think as a society, we've gotten past the whole, like, blame video games and movies for all of this.
Well, again, rational people have, but there's still the psychotic people who have video games are blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they try to use it as a scapegoat and all that. And I think we've all seen our fair share of, like, horrifying and, like, awful things, but I don't think we've gotten in a group text and gone like, hey, let's just stab up some people at school now.
That's something especially wrong in the head with both of them, and they just, like, found each other out of, like, sheer horrible
Let's keep
luck.
them in a padded cell for like, the next 100 years.
I say Thunderdome. Give them each one knife and say Satan has declared that one of you will be his bride. Go at it.
Don't
let nature solve itself.
Stop giving Satanists a bad name, all right, ladies?
Well, okay, the whole thing about Satanists, as I've read, is their whole thing is it's more of a statement than actual.
Yeah, it's not. It's like more of like an atheistic type of, like,
it's
belief
a secular
system.
belief. Yeah. So
they don't legit believe in Satan because that would be ridiculous.
8 people from Orange County and the Inland Empire were arrested on Tuesday, being charged. What?
Nothing. It's Thunderstruck being Thunderstruck yet again.
All right, next story.
8 people from Orange County were arrested Tuesday and charged with being involved with a meth trafficking ring that used Aztec calendars and statues to try to ship drugs to Hawaii. Prosecutors in an indictment filed at the federal courthouse in Santa Ana alleged that as part of a larger conspiracy, approximately 25 pounds of pure meth were to be sent out of a Garden Grove post office as part of a shipment that appeared to be colorful, decorative Mexican items, including replicas of a 5-year-old Aztec calendar stone.
Ooh.
The picture on this story was fantastic. It was all of those Aztec calendar stones you see.
Right.
Remember when 2012 was coming and everybody was freaking the hell out and you saw those everywhere? Yes. So it was a whole bunch of these, and they had just simply pressed them all in and painted them to make it was a bunch of meth that they'd pressed and painted to look like these calendars. Wow. I gotta say, these people that are trying to smuggle the drugs like this,
they're getting really creative,
and they have a lot of skill, and I really think they could easily move from drug smuggling into crafting.
Yeah, just become an artist. Like, make
they're already there.
Art
or something. Yeah,
they're already artists.
It's
just that the canvas they paint on happens to be illegal.
Yeah, if you're that creative and smart, I mean,
that is very interesting, because, like, I wonder how we're gonna look at, like, some of these people, because, you know, like the Aztec calendars being, like, carved onto blocks of, like, cocaine or, like, whatever like happens to happen, but, like, you know, the art community, like, you guys are great. If you're part of the art community out there, respect to you. But, like, no matter what happens, if it's art, they will praise it if it's good, and they should. But, like, you know, it's going to be in an art history class, like, 30 years down the line, like, this great artist made his first sculptures on that of methamphetamines,
which is still on display at the police evidence locker in La Habra.
Well, I think
he still works on his art being oppressed in a prison far away. It's like, of course he is, because he did it on meth.
I think
his work is so highly valued. Collectors have been after it for years. I was like, of course they have. They want to smoke it.
They've been after him for years as well.
It's pretty obvious what our next move should be. I think we should all go out and buy some Aztec calendars.
Okay.
let's do this.
I'm listening.
Let's go. Who knows? We might hit the lotto. Just lowered my self-esteem a bit with that one.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. I'm figuring out how to do that. That works.
Right.
I'm happy with that.
We're getting closer.
Oh God.
Let's get that next story going.
Rude.
In a strip club near Dayton, Ohio, food stamps were frequently accepted as payment for lap dances and illicit drugs, police said last week.
Oh wow.
Why you gotta act so naughty?
Oh,
na na na.
All right.
I'd spend all this cash. Oh, na na.
If you keep shaking that, oh yeah, oh na na na.
An investigation resulted in criminal charges and the revocation of the establishment's liquor license. Over nearly a half-year span, police say undercover agents from the Ohio Investigative Unit were able to use nearly $2,500 worth of food stamps to buy drugs and dances, including heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamines from Sharky's, an adult entertainment lounge in a neighboring neighborhood north of downtown.
Honestly, like, not to be a Jesse here.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Food stamps for payment, I mean, isn't the worst idea.
I thought the same thing.
That's the whole reason they're doing it, is to
see the
feed
problem.
themselves.
You're going to eat hot wings either at home or you're going to go down to the Peppermint Rhino and buy your wings there. So what does it matter where you buy them from? Now, if you're paying for drugs with food stamps, that's a whole different story.
Well, that's just fiscally responsible.
The enforcement actions come almost 1 year after agents executed search warrants at 3 of the city's strip clubs, including Shakey's and the Harem. Those warrants, executed in September of 2017, also resulted in citations for drug sales and food stamp trafficking. It is not immediately clear whether Thursday's announcements were connected to last year's investigations. So there are 2 different investigations?
For food stamps as payment? Who cares? I mean, the drugs I get, but like food stamps as payment for like a lap dance? That's not really harming anybody, and it gets them food. It's the whole reason anybody has a job.
And someone's getting paid. So.
Yeah, somebody's getting some form of payment.
I don't think that this was necessarily a case that needed to have 2 separate investigations. I think that the agents finished their first one, and then they just realized they missed having lunch with the strippers' cans wrapped around their heads, and so they decided that they needed to reopen the case.
Well, now I need to sign up for food stamps.
You know, you got your little celery in the ranch sauce, in the blue cheese, whatever. And you want to.
You got the beer nuts and everything.
Okay.
Hook her with her jugs resting on your head.
We're done. We're moving on.
I think it's time for a school field trip.
Okay. Breakfast of Imbeciles.
Every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m.
Never ceases to amaze.
Hey, we kept that relatively clean. Let's see, a 27-year-old math teacher, Jennifer...
Relatively clean.
Relatively clean.
Literally talking about...
I mean, how clean can you have a story about drugs at a strip club?
That's very true.
But it was news. This is news.
This is news.
A 27-year-old math teacher coerced a 17-year-old student into having sex with her, reportedly threatening to dock his grades if he refused, according to a lawsuit filed by the South Carolina teenager and his mother.
Wow.
Do you remember when you had that like fantasy about that teacher in high school? There was that teacher in high school that you were just like, God, they are attractive, you know? Like, or maybe it was like a sub or like a representative of the high school, like some superior in your high school was like attractive to you.
Of course.
You remember when that was like a fantasy and not just like a reality that was a problem? You remember when she was like, he or she was like the girl or boy next door, and they were like, oh man, like, she's so beautiful, like, I'm going to talk about how attractive she is he or she is with my friends, and then like let it flutter in the wind because I know it will never happen.
I know that's a really common occurrence for a lot of people. For some reason, I never did, but I did have the hots for the lifeguard when I was on the swim team.
See, there you go.
Back in middle school.
Any form of superior in your school. Like, there was a form where they were just, like, way out of your league in literally every sense of the word, in terms of, like, they'd be going out with people that are not only older than you, but more attractive than you. Like, it was just this fantasy because it would, like, never happen, and I don't know. I'm sure it's been happening all the time, but
leave it to stories like this to remind me of what an ugly kid I was in high school.
Oh, okay, I'm ready.
Now, I am not condoning this at all, because obviously, also if you put the shoe on the other foot and it was a 27-year-old man doing this to a 17-year-old girl, there would be a lot. I feel like there would be a lot more like.
Is this a Thunderstruck
No, there would
story?
There would be a lot more of like harsh criticism.
You haven't let me even get to the details in the story yet.
All I'm saying is,
what'd you do?
Where were these teachers when I was in school? That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm just okay. Go on. Lunchbox.
The teacher's advances had become so public, direct, and obnoxious that the student avoided her classes at the high school in Charleston, aware that the administrators, other teachers, and his classmates knew about them, according to the lawsuit. The sexual encounters ended in December after the teen refused to have sex with her, who then lowered his grade from a 98 to an 89. According to the lawsuit in the class. She was allegedly hell-bent on having a sexual relationship with the student. She began flirting with the teen after she became his math teacher in August of 2017. She talked to him about sex before, during, and after class. Jesus. Made sexual advances in plain view of other teachers and students, the lawsuit alleges.
Wow, that's...
What?
Now, okay, now a lot of this is the text from the lawsuit, so we don't necessarily know, since the investigation is, I guess, still being
I was going to say
looked into.
Yeah.
However, they are alleging that this had gone on for so long that the administrative staff was well aware of it because she had been so flagrant about it. And so they're suing the school district as well because apparently if they knew nothing about it, then why didn't they stop it?
Yeah.
So they're sort of not co-conspirators, but
Wow.
accessories to it. Each time he would show his hesitancy to continue this forced sexual relationship, she would remind him that she alone controls his grade, the lawsuit says.
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
And see, that's what
Lock
I'm
her
saying.
up.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Why can't it just be the fantasy, like, girl next door ideal? Why does it now have to be, like, not have to be, but it sucks that I'm hearing all these stories of, like, there are people that are threatening to lower your grades and they're being creeps about it. I remember when, like, it was an occasional, like, oh, hi, Brandon. And it was like, oh, hi. And then it just fluttered away in the wind and never became anything.
Yeah, and that's
big
just
boy.
so common because
No.
a lot when I mean for the student to look up to the authority figure
Yeah.
because you're a stew of hormones at that point.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening is confusing to you, and
It's not until you're a little bit
Yeah.
older that you can see it from a different perspective, and you're just like,
Oh, yeah.
that is really creepy.
Oh, yeah, it's really
Like,
creepy.
what is
But,
wrong
like,
with this person?
But, like, there was that one that, like, I remember there was a guy teacher that, like, all of the girls liked. And I just, like, and you know how when you're, like, a guy in high school, you just don't get it? I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good-looking guy. I get it. But, like, what I'm saying is I remember when it was just, like, a fantasy idea, they would, like, play along with you and then, like, let it go. Like, they wouldn't, like, play along with you, but they'd just give you, like, a snide remark anytime they, like, saw you just like, staring at them. Because I remember they would just stare at him and he'd just be like, girls, get back to your work, you know? And then it was just like, because they're being so obvious about it, but now it's like
that's just kind of a little kid thing, because
it's a little kid thing.
They're girlish and
Yeah.
they're blushing. It's the little crush.
You
He's just
know,
kind of like, haha, hero worship. That's fine.
Exactly. Better at their job. Like, I get it, but we can't do this, and it would never happen. But now it's like sex scandal after sex scandal.
Yeah. So this teacher is
shame. And what is wrong with this woman? You're 27 years old. You have to resort to, like, trying to flirt with a kid in your class.
How lonely.
What's wrong with her? Does she look like a troll or something? Does she look like Shrek?
Okay.
What's wrong? I feel like I have the right to shame this woman. All right, because she's a predator.
I don't think that's how shaming works.
Remember though, a lot of this stuff in this story has the word alleged attached to it.
Alleged.
So
she allegedly looks like.
This is from the lawsuit that they've been putting
She
out.
She allegedly looks like Shrek.
Doesn't say that anywhere in the story, DJ Thunderstruck.
It's in there. Just look. You got to read between the lines.
A patron at an Orange County restaurant caught an odd scene on her phone video. A woman falling through the ceiling of the dining room.
I've said this multiple times before, but I just imagine DJ Lunchbox in the production room, like, looking up these sound effects, hearing them, and just
I did this all at home, but yes, I'm
just like laughing in his, like, a little chair or, like, on the couch, just
in
like,
his underwear.
Oh, this is perfect.
cracking myself up
in his boxer briefs. Just
I'm just sitting at my desk and I'm doing some work, and all of a sudden I'll find a story, and Ted hears
Jesus.
So hear me laughing from the other room.
Oh man, that's awesome.
The incident happened on Sunday afternoon at Saboroso Mexican Grill in Garden Grove, the TV station CBS LA reported. The woman who was not dining at the restaurant had come to use the restroom, but as a line formed outside the locked door, she apparently crawled into the drop ceiling and then fell through the ceiling tiles.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
She must have really had to go.
I would do the same thing.
She must have really had to go.
She received only minor injuries and nobody else was hurt. Police say she did not remember what had happened or why she crawled into the ceiling.
Wow.
Mm.
That fall.
I don't remember what happened or why I'm in this ceiling right now.
I don't know why I did this thing that I've totally done. B-Milly, it's 5 till. Do you have to head to your class?
Yeah, I'm unfortunately going to have to go.
I hate to let you go. I really hate to let you go, but I don't want to be responsible for you being late for anything.
We're so sad every time you go.
Toodles, thank you so much, guys.
Let's play him out, Lunchbox.
Thank you for coming, B-Milly. We'll see you Thursday.
We miss you already, buddy. Oh,
And then there were two.
As always.
So yeah, a woman just decided to crawl into the ceiling at a restaurant inexplicably.
And there was somebody using the restroom, right?
Well, there was a line, so yeah.
Oh, man, I would be pissed off if this happened to me. All I'm saying is.
Your puns.
I'm just saying that fall must have really knocked the poop out of her. If you know what. Oh, thank you.
Oh, man.
Woo!
So bad. So naughty.
I'm a horrible person.
A 15-year-old girl sharing a grisly mock crime scene photo from one of her high school classes with her mother caused a Hawaii-bound flight to return to the gate Friday morning when the photo went out to other passengers, authorities say.
Oh, this is my jam.
Authorities, who originally said the two passengers were college students majoring in criminal justice and sharing multiple pictures from a class, did not identify them. They were questioned and released by the Alameda County Sheriff's Office deputies. Deputies first received reports about the incident around 7:20 in the morning. Police say the girl used her phone's AirDrop app to send a mock crime scene photo of a body used in her medical biology class to her mom sitting next to her.
Oh.
AirDrop is a feature that allows Mac and iOS devices to share files. But by using the method, the files can also end up on other nearby phones. In this case, the phones of other passengers.
Oh, God.
Those passengers alerted flight attendants who showed the images to the pilots. Kelly said the two were obviously embarrassed about what occurred and they did not mean to inconvenience other passengers. Man, I hope those two do not ever get jobs working for the Witness Protection Program.
What dunces? I mean, like, really, was there no other way to, like, send this photo? And if not, they couldn't wait. They didn't really think that one through.
You know, in this case, I don't really see a fault here. I mean, this was a complete accident, as the way that I read the article. They were simply conferring about a class they'd taken. One of them had some photos that she'd taken. She was simply trying to share it with her companion, who was apparently in that class with her. But apparently they just didn't understand how the technology worked, and so she ended up spreading the photos to a whole bunch of other people on the flight who just got pictures of a crime scene. A grisly crime scene, and we're kind of like,
right, yeah.
Although my question is, how did they identify the two women? Because if the photos went out, it might say it came from a phone number, but it's not going to light up and show the woman. They're not going to be able to trace it physically to what seat she was in. You know?
I just imagine maybe they owned up to it because they're like, "Oh, this is a mistake."
That's probably true.
But I would have just been upset. You messing with my flight. Like, I got places to go.
Well, it was only delayed. They were still on the ground. I mean, if they'd been in the air, then they wouldn't have been able to use their.
I am an impatient man. I would not stand for this.
That's true. You're always sitting there whining about needing coffee.
If I was there in that situation, I would say we better get moving sooner. There's going to be a real crime scene here. All right, let's get this plane going.
Gonna need some police tape in here if you guys don't get moving.
Let's get going. We need to get out of here.
I just found that kind of curious. It was kind of a cute story almost, just because, I mean, they weren't doing anything on purpose.
Yeah, it's just harmless stuff. A little light story. I like it.
I think we got the taste out of our mouths with that story about some of the other
drugs and naked bodies,
terrible things we've discussed,
ripping stuff out with mouths.
God.
Yeah, that was a very good light story to end it on. Very fun note.
So I think we're going to wrap it up here. It is actually it's only a couple of 20 seconds to 10. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody, here on this Halloween Eve morning Breakfast of Imbeciles special show.
Woo! Spooky.
Don't forget you can check us out on Facebook at Griffin Radio 119. Our Instagram is Griffin Radio SD. And, of course, you can always hear us on the TuneIn app under the Griffin Radio channel for your Android and iPhone. Shoot me an email at lunchboxthedj@gmail.com. I appreciate hearing from you and want to hear what you are interested in hearing on this show. I have been DJ Lunchbox here on Breakfast of Imbeciles with
DJ Thunderstruck
and B-Milly, of course, who left us already, that rap bastard. Yeah. We will see you guys all on Thursday.
This world I wouldn't do